looking back, I think that I can speak for both of us. I think I'll probably
Go ahead, just
say
jump
the
right.
same as you, is that I think it was our dedication and passion for what we were doing and having a great time doing it. Aside from that, we had incredible producers. Shelley Curtis really took so much time in creating and molding and changing and fixing and lighting and just on set, every little nuance and moment. Let's try this, let's try that. But also gave us the opportunity to be free in our choices as well. And we had great writers too.
Yeah, the whole team we were just very fortunate to be in a time where producers Al and Shelley just they saw what we had with each other. That's a great thing about daytime is, good producers and writers, they lean into whatever you're bringing. And you look back on that time and what they gave us was just incredible. And the support they gave us, the writing they gave us. I mean, we were just so extremely fortunate to have this whole days of our lives holding us up. And man, look at some of the stuff we've done, running down a street in New York City.
It was incredible. You know what? I don't think also that at that time, and it's been brought up a few times, that as you were saying, we were given so much, but I don't think we were looking at what we were being given, which it was such a blessing and such a gift, because we were just with blinders going straight ahead. What's next? What are we doing next? Let's rehearse this. Let's try that. And I can remember many evenings after wrapping, we'd go to either's dressing room and continue to rehearse for
what are we doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Always just giving it everything we can every day. Doing soaps, quite often you hear from actors, we're just doing the same thing over and over.
We never did the same thing.
We never.
I have to say.
We probably did, but I think we looked at it as, well, the content was different, but the format was the same, but we never looked at it as if it's, we're having to do this the same. We just looked at the script and did, hey, let's go for it.
We were very blessed and graced with so many changing of the guards, writers, producers, everyone. And I mean, we had Lee Smith, our first round, who was a costume designer, absolutely incredible. He designed Hope's wedding dress, infamous, very expensive wedding dress.
And he let me get away with pretty much any stupid thing that I brought him to wear.
This is true.
Wait a minute.
But it worked. It ended up working.
Loden and I have this thing, because I believe, Kristian, you might remember this. I think I got an award for the worst dressed actor. And Loden and I have this thing where we're always laughing at each other.
It's possible, but it worked. It worked.
Give you that.
It so completely worked. But what I was saying was that we were just giving so much. I mean, Lee Smith was the designer during the 80s, and we've been so blessed with Richard Bloor, who's been our designer ever since. And that is crucial as well to the story and helping the characters feel their characters. I mean, I know that I'm having foot surgery next Thursday again. And Mary Beth would keep saying to me, you got to stop wearing those high heels. But I had to always wear, I would say probably 99.9% of the time, high heels, because it was part of Hope. And also my posture, my being was just completely different than if I were in sneakers, as I'm wearing right now.
And you were running down the streets of New York in high heels, running across a football field in high heels.
An ice skating rink,
jumping out of a hot air balloon in heels.
I'm paying for it now.
That's good.
It was all worth it, by the way. I do it all over again. We were flying to New Orleans to shoot in New Orleans, which was an incredible trip. Such a fun storyline. I think I had 11 changes in one day. And we were on
we must have done like 130
yeah, it was unbelievable every day.
Yeah.
So we were on the plane, we landed in New Orleans, and I heard music before deplaning, and I was like, oh my God, Pete, they're playing our theme song. And you're like, oh my God, that's pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, I know. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? Except when we got off the jetway, there were thousands of people. I think I still have on videotape somewhere that my parents had kept of that. There were like more people than when the Beatles arrived, if you could even believe that, which I was like, you must be joking. Peter was horrified and nervous.
And the marching band, not just people, but the marching band.
And we were looking at each other. I just remember Peter grabbing me, and I don't know how I made it through the airport because my feet in my heels never touched the ground.
That's how you made it.
It was so nerve-wracking. I don't think I ever really understood. And even to this day, it's so surprising because I just love my time on Days of Our Lives, and going back to the storylines and which is best and this is that. I've enjoyed everything. I mean, obviously some I enjoyed more than others, but I have to say I loved every storyline I was lucky enough to be a part of.
If we could answer that question, we would be gajillionaires.
I don't know.
Every producer wants to know that.
I think sometimes also, Pete, we were talking about this the other day when I called you for the big birthday, that we would rehearse, but I wouldn't always rehearse what my physicality would be in the scene. So some things would take him totally by surprise, like when I would jump on him. For instance, and that was such a natural reaction because
we would do that for each other. Okay, we kept in our back pocket, both of us. I'm going to keep this so that it keeps it fresh when we do it on stage in front. Even way back then, we'd have rehearsal. Mm-hmm. So many rehearsals leading up to taping, which they don't have these days. And we wouldn't do those little teeny things until we were taping, so that you get that sparkle in each other's eyes.
And we laughed a lot, even when it was not written. Oh, hope laughs, go laughs. They're both enjoying, because we would just find things that would happen that we were such calamities in a way as well. And Pete would always bring his little nuances romantically to the couple that I, as Christian, hope, whatever, would not know that he was going to do. So, of course, I think because they were just kind of a normal couple that were just deeply in love, but they had their trials and tribulations and obstacles and the things they got through.
I think, yeah. And, as you're saying that, it's so true, because the love in that relationship was always there. So no matter what was happening underneath, when we looked at each other, and lots of audiences members say that, when we looked into each other's eyes, you could see the love that was, just ever present.
Regardless if we were fighting, loving, laughing, whatever it was. I'm glad I'm sitting down. Wow, 40 years ago?
Yeah,
it feels
incredible.
We blinked and here we are, and I'm at a loss for words, shockingly. It's incredible. It's just incredible that we are still involved with Days of Our Lives and a part of it.
And the whole reason for it is the passion of, and this is something we've always said, is the passion of our audience. Mm-hmm. And the only reason we're here 42 years later.
So thank you so much.
Yes, is because of them, and kind of just crazy.
It's so true. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Because if the audience did not like what we were doing or the storylines, or we wouldn't be here. It's so true. Absolutely. So we're very grateful. I was so excited. I thought it was fantastic. I had never been to the UK. All of our, I don't know if you know this, but all of our luggage, all of the wardrobe had been lost.
Didn't the same thing happen on the way to New Orleans? It was our first.
Not New Orleans, I don't believe, but Lee was completely panic-stricken because it was the wedding dress as well. Everything had been lost, and it had been lost for days. So he started shopping at Harrods, which I absolutely adore.
Oh, that's so
such a fun store. Such a fun store for sure. Has everything. A dry bar as well, I found out. I thought it was fantastic. I loved going on location, but I also loved being in the studio. So we had the best of both worlds.
I got to ride a horse.
Oh yeah, that's
no motorcycles. I grew up.
And a bicycle.
Yeah.
I did too, with high heels.
And that's another.
And jumped off the bike with high heels.
And once when we rode the bike with you on the
handlebars, yeah,
the crew was laughing.
I know.
I don't think I could say this because you can cut it out. And we got back, and I was like, why is all the crew laughing? Because you said, get your fanny up on the bars. And apparently fanny means something different there.
Oh.
The crew was just cracking up. I was like, what? Anyway, I got to ride a horse, which I'd love because I grew up with horses. And that's one of my dreams, of doing a character where I'm a cowboy. And I got
a lot of fun to do a Western.
Got a moment. Mm-hmm. Westerns are coming back. I want to do that.
Yes, they are. They're back. They're back.
Yeah, they have been back. Yeah.
Yes, they have. Oh my gosh, that dress. Flew Lee Smith, the costume designer, to Paris to pick up the silk tooling. Is that just? It was so funny because I was talking to Danny about this the other day. The dress was actually like 30-something thousand. Now we're $30-something thousand for a dress. Now is like outrageous.
Kristian, is that in your closet now?
No.
Where'd it go? Is it on a plastic mannequin someplace?
I have no idea. But the headdress was all hand done. I think pretty much all of it was all hand done. Very delicate. There was a lot of running, tearing. I know sometimes they had to sew me up in it because of something physical that we were doing, and the tooling would rip. But it was pretty spectacular. For that time, very spectacular. You know, they were inside the pews. Those were all fans. Did you know that? But I just remember everybody clapped after.
For some reason, the two of us we just basically hung on each other because we're like, that was the only thing that was a safe place, because that whole there was so much pressure on that one moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was super hot, remember?
Plus having all those fans there, we were. It was a kind of.
I thought it was amazing that they involved the fans and allowed them to come, and everybody dressed as they were going to a wedding. And I recall also that when the wedding aired, do you remember, Pete, that wedding cakes were arriving at the studio?
At the studio, yeah.
And invitations, and people had actually made up invitations and sent them to their friends. And I guess it was very big in college as well. And they were dressed for the wedding, would send photos out. Yeah, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I was nervous. I'm always nervous because I want it to be great. I want it to always be the best I could possibly be. It was, it's always wonderful to walk through those doors. The storyline, there was a lot happening. There's just so much happening, and I could cry right now. And it was great being back. It was great to pick up where these characters left off. Ron did an incredible job. I will go back to Ron. Did an incredible job to bring Bo back. And these writers picked up and did an incredible job to bring him back alive, to wake him up, and to keep us in the forefront of Days of Our Lives, which I'm very appreciative of, that they would think of us and to include us again. While we were there, Draco was fighting for his life, and that made it really hard. And I was texting with him through it. It would have been better not to have. I wish he had been there, because he was, for so many of us, such a strength and a cheerleader and funny, but a team player. And I loved working with him. And he was not only a good actor, but he was a great human being and father and wonderful husband and friend. And he's greatly missed. And we had lost also Billy, who played my father. So, and John, there's just been, it was hard. It was hard. As joyful as it was to return, it was also painful in ways.
That energy he always had, that brought with every, and you could feel him almost before he entered the room, because he was, that positive energy that, everybody who was in contact with him knew and felt. And, not having that energy there at the studios just touched everybody. And even though I hadn't seen him in a very long time, it's like one of your best friends are gone, and it takes a while. And haven't gotten there yet, talking about him. He's missed by everybody he touched.
Very, very much so. Always so positive. Let's do this. Let's go. Come on, kid. Let's go. And the same with Billy. Same, singing makeup room first thing in the morning. And then and John Aniston, who's dearly missed as well. And Kristian, did you hear the one? Always made me laugh. And just three wonderful men. And my God, Wayne as well. Just a really, wow.
We do pack a lot in the few shows we had, and I think the audience, the writers gave the audience some things that they were looking forward to.
Thank you so much for your love and support. My gosh, all of these years. I sincerely mean that from the bottom of my heart. We love you so much. And like Pete had pointed out, we definitely would not be here if it weren't for all of you. So thank you.
Kristian and I talked about this when I first came back and we were doing the Heaven stuff. And, we hadn't been together for so long, and the impact of the audience was just like, what? Really? They all just came back and were looking so forward to us being back together. It blew us away that the feelings, the love that was coming back on social media was just astounding. So it's so, just so thankful for that.
Oh my God, I'm so honored. So honored to be a part of it, thought of. Yeah, very incredibly grateful.
Yeah.
Incredibly grateful.
Grateful is a very good word, Kristian. And for so many things, you can't even thank the number of people who participated in our relationship together as a super couple.
It's just, it feels surreal that all of this time has passed, because I feel a little wiser, but I still feel like I blinked and how did we get here so quickly? And now I'm just I just got a little chill, because I'm just remembering my mom and dad always saying, and my mom would turn to my dad and say, oh my gosh, if we could just do it all over again. It's gone by so quickly, as each year would pass, or a birthday or an anniversary for them. And we'd be like, oh my gosh, it's just another year. But honestly, you get older and you appreciate every moment that you have, because time is speeding up. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So yeah. I'm grateful for all of the time that I was able to spend at Days of Our Lives.